So we're going to go grab this one. Beautiful, fancy new train. Very good condition. Absolutely shining and sparkling away. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Transport Fever 2 in the Freeplay mode with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our beautiful, fancy new bridge right here in the countryside where we left off in the last episode. Last time around, we actually took care of a good bunch of things. First things first, actually connecting up Evesham and Spacefish, getting a passenger train going between those two as well, and then kind of going around to start doing a little bit of a modernization run, because we did actually have some vehicles that were quite old, admittedly, and as you may know, in Transport Fever 2, if vehicles do get too old, the maintenance bills kind of just skyrocket, and on the other hand side, they actually go and get more emissions out there, which in the end doesn't really positively reflect on the growth speed of the city. So that's why we are looking at that, and we got pretty much halfway with that in the last episode, so we're going to go and continue on that task today, actually getting all that modernization drive finalized, and then we will go and set up a fancy new passenger line, because we've got Space City right here and it's not really connected to too many places, especially here in the east. And as we do now have a new local passenger transit hub here in Crawley, we are going to go and connect a line from Space City through Aquarium all the way down there. So that's the plan for today, but just quickly before we get going on that very plan, if you're new around here and if you do happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to smash that subscribe button right down below. That would mean the absolute world to me. We're inching closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers, and every single person just truly does help out a ton achieving that goal. So thank you so much if you did that, and without further ado, let's first things first go and hop in to the modernization work. So where we left off right here was at Food Darlydale the last time around, and we're just going to kind of continue our journey through here. This one here actually being a bit interesting, because I mean, food delivery truck Darlydale is technically not only food delivery. At this point we're also delivering fuel with this, which you know, is a somewhat essential part of the economy here, and 3 trucks does seem a little low, admittedly. So let us go and actually check that one out. Being at a rate of 85, I'm not convinced that really is enough, to be quite honest with you. I mean, you've got demands that are evidently tons and tons higher that are still somehow being fulfilled, but I'm not entirely sure that we're actually covering them. Are we even covering everything with a network of trucks? Because they're only going, well, they're going to 2 spots. Let's go and check that out. So we've got an unload stop right here. Now we've got one right here. Those are really not placed all too nicely, are they? I mean, this one here honestly overlaps with a good bit of that one, which I suppose is due to the city just kind of growing northeast-ish. And now we've not really covered everything here in terms of industry, while we also have some huge overlaps here, and we don't have really everything right there covered. So what I think we will be doing is we'll be placing one right here, and we will, this is also weird, this is not even lighting up, but we'll be placing one stop right there. Or maybe even here. This would still cover everything, while, you know, not necessarily having the trucks go all the way in, having to turn around. So we'll be placing that here. How in the world did that just destroy the stop for the tram? Oh, it told me replacing existing, didn't it? Did that fix the line now, me just placing it back? Oh no. Where are we at? Darlydale Cable Car or Cable Car Darlydale? What is it called? Is it called Tram Darlydale? Oh, let's try like that. Darlydale Tram. That's like my beautifully aligned but not aligned naming conventions is what I want to say. Okay, so that's good. That's fixed. It's all fine. Let's try and now place that in some different spot where we do not... Okay, so we can't even place it anywhere on the block here, which is interesting. So we'll just have the trucks turn around, I guess. You know, I don't need to mess with any of these. And then we are going to go and actually remove that stop. And we're going to go and alter the line, because the old one doesn't really make much sense anymore. So the green here, we're going to remove. And we are instead going to add Windsor Road and Mill Lane, and then that's going to kind of just go like this, and then they're going to come back. Makes more sense, covers everything, and on top of that, I'm really not sure how we've even been covering this much with that capacity, probably partially due to this train station already being in reach of a good bit of this town, and thus not really needing the trucks for that purpose, only really needing the trucks for these parts right here where it's not in reach. But honestly, I mean, 85 of a rate seems utterly low. So, a bit concerned about these already going down to mediocre, especially because, like, it's in the middle of a city and emissions actually count quite a lot. But, where's our road depot? Let's maybe first things first see, are these even the newest trucks that we have? That's the wrong one. Technically they're not, but I think these red ones were inferior. No, they're not. They are inferior, as you can see. Less capacity, 1 unit of emissions less, but that really doesn't count. So I guess what we can do is going to add another 3. Oh. See, now that makes more sense, I guess. But then it also kind of doesn't. We've got this line here as well. That one I only now saw, really. And that kind of explains why we're managing to deliver as much. Where is it? Fuel delivery? Yeah, it's because it's all the way down here. So we've got 3 trucks in that one too. Ah, right. Well, I mean, I suppose I get it why we're doing things that way. Because, I mean, the tarpaulin trucks can technically transport everything, but I guess we've got a bit more capacity in these blitz tank trucks here, so I get the reason. Let's maybe keep it at a bit of a split then, and actually just align again for like maybe like first things first and foremost. This stop actually covers everything in terms of food. So for food, we don't need any more stops. We didn't even need the other on top one, to be honest. So let us go and remove everything except West's 3 tier for the time being. That should cover everything for food. Now we've got a rate of 85 here, and the thing is, I mean, honestly, let us add one of these trucks just to make sure. All right, we're gonna add one of them to the food delivery truck in Darlydale. We're gonna sell the other 2 again, and then we kind of need to see for the fuel thing. Now we're gonna hop back into the proper set of lines in just a second. But fuel delivery Darlydale, this one here doesn't make sense, because if you see, I mean, it was going to this one, so that was actually covering a substantial bit, but this one right here is actually covering some places that we need fuel. So for fuel delivery Darlydale, then we actually need to go and do the full loop, basically. Didn't want to really put Windsor Road. Actually, I did want to put Windsor Road there, because I guess the green is the old stop. So, like this, I suppose. But why are we not going to that one now? Oh boy, okay. How do I move these? Not at all? I suppose not at all. Let's just redo that. So, come on, go away. Thank you. We go West Street first. We add Windsor Road, and then we go to Mill Lane. And that is the proper way to go. That's going to definitely cover everything. Now, in terms of the rate, I suppose we can't be on that one where we need to be. Fuel delivery Darlydale. That is the wrong statistic. We've got it right here. So fuel delivery Darlydale is on a rate of 106. We've got a rate to cover of 143. So we are going to go and just add 2. I would add one, but honestly, with one, we would probably be slightly too low, or even if we were slightly above, it would literally just be like the need is going up so quickly that we may as well do two, and then that's pretty much all the changes we need to make for the future. Maybe we're going to come back and upgrade the trucks at some point just to do, you know, emissions and maintenance cost and everything, but otherwise, don't really need to come back because we're not going to be able to produce any more fuel with a refinery anyways, no matter how high the needs skyrocket. So, you know, it's kind of just that, I suppose, in the future then. But we do then have the fuel delivery Dallydale here. Did I just buy the right trucks? Those looked weird. Maybe I just kind of missed it when I glimpsed down. Fuel delivery Dallydale. Yup. I am so confused. I'm so confused at what I'm doing here sometimes. These are the wrong trucks. Good thing that I at least spotted that. Maybe somehow accidentally jumped up, but we're going to go and grab two of the actual tank trucks. We're going to go down here. We're going to go to fuel delivery Dallydale. And then we've got that done. Beautiful. So, with that out of the way then, let us go and continue with the actual modernization drive. So, we ended up right here. Then we continue with food delivery truck Colburn. Also seems a bit low in terms of trucks to me, to be honest. But we're at 114 of a rate there. I think the distance is maybe not quite as big there. Food delivery Colburn, 142 again. So we're good on that end. You know, conditions are still fine-ish, I guess. Fuel, we've got this all good. And then we've got fuel Badal, which is in a very bad condition. So that can't be great. Then again, it's also kind of a similar deal of where, like, how much does maintenance really matter? If we look here at running costs, we are now currently at, hello? 1.35 million bucks. And we kind of also started at that, which is a bit weird, given that I was told by the game that the maintenance cost should be going up when the vehicle condition deteriorates. Bit confused by that, to be honest. Emissions are at 84. Let me see what it actually is supposed to be on a locomotive like that. Maybe that's at least changing. Yeah, so 7 units more in terms of emission. I'm a bit confused, I have to say, about the overall running costs, though. I mean, if you see here, 617k a year, plus, like, how many are these? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, I mean, it's pretty much still spot on what it's supposed to be. Nothing changed in terms of maintenance cost. Honestly, a bit confused. Let me know down below in the comments if you know why that is the case, because technically I think the game told me when we got introduced to it that technically the worse the condition, the more maintenance costs you need to pay. Maybe it's also just a setting that I haven't set up properly or something. But I guess it's only the emissions now that change, which is interesting. Which is very, very interesting indeed, because this thing, honestly, as far as I can remember, really just goes back and forth between some oil pump and the oil refinery. And I wouldn't be able to tell you which one. I guess this one here. That's it, right? Yep, so I guess we can happily ignore that one. I don't know. If it's only in the countryside anyways, the emissions don't matter. And if the costs don't go up, why would I ever change it, I guess? That is not the train, though, I'm quite sure. Which one was it? Grain. We were looking at grain staple for Dallydale. I'm not sure how I got to the... How did I get to the fuel one? I'm a bit confused. But this grain one was, I guess. But, this is... that line here? No. Yes, that line. So, Stapleford Farm goes all the way through here. No cities, no cities, no cities. And it does go past Blackburn here, actually. So this one is one that we would more want to be looking at, because, like, it's Blackburn. minus 40% due to emissions. We may want to change that a tad bit, just saying. So, let's go and look at that train, I suppose. That one may make sense to change, or at least to upgrade, based on our current needs. It is currently happily chugging away at 80 kilometers an hour, grain staple for Darley Dale. A rate of 204, which I guess is like the output of the farm, right? Yep. So the output is at 200. And, well, the only real disadvantage of this train thus far is the emissions, honestly. I mean, we can't really even make any progress in terms of the gondolas again, which is like, again, a factor where I'm really hesitant to just spend money, to be honest. I think we're going to leave it. Honestly, we're still going to leave it. We're maybe going to come back to all these, I guess, when we do actually have some gondolas that can go faster. Until then, you know, we're just going to keep running them down. So all these seem quite good to me. All quite happy. Then we've got oil Colburn, which was actually this one that we were looking at. Middle of the countryside, doesn't matter. As long as it's chugging away and extracting all the oil from the oil well, we are more than happy with that. And we've got Oil Fuel Line Badal. Oil Fuel Badal? Is it this one? No, it's train 9, not train 15. Let's maybe track that one. Ooh, boy. This one. Okay, so that one's actually... it's close-ish to the city. It's really not that terrible either, to be honest. The one thing that I do remember was that it was having absolute crazy issues even chugging up this hill. Because it didn't really have that much tractive power, so... we could make a change there, technically speaking. It's not like we're really poor. Also, no, these are the new tank cars, so... you know, uphill, this thing's really slow. Don't really want to change the entire thing to electric lines, though, which, you know, full power and tractive effort technically is the way to go. And again, we've got stuff like the Flying Scotsman. So I don't really feel like upgrading the entire train line just yet, because that will be even more money spent. I do want to push the power and tractive effort a good bit, though. Could just do a Class 8 for I mean, in terms of speed, yeah, sure, but otherwise, it's going to go up that hill so much faster. Probably even going to be able to go and shave off some of those carts that we don't need anymore after that one. Oil... Fuel Line Badal was the name, right? Yeah. Very confusing name as well. 397 of a rate. Not ideal. Kind of need 400, just saying. But let's go. Remove this guy right there, and you know, that would be nice, honestly. It would be quite nice. If we were to add this max speed at high slopes, jeez, but like maybe it is insufficient to add this one. 60 kilometers an hour at high slopes. It is a difference. It is certainly a difference. If the train goes like 33% faster, it costs more than 33% on top, though, in terms of maintenance. I think that's just the way that we're going to be deciding. Plus, we don't really even have the money for that one. So we're going to go grab this one. Beautiful, fancy new train. Very good condition. Absolutely shining and sparkling away. Very weird, by the way, to have this kind of train on a cargo train like that. But look at that beauty. I love this blue color and just like the overall shine of this thing. Absolutely glorious. Let's see if we get a honk out of that one. Probably not, because it hasn't really rolled off of anything. Still glorious. I'm loving that, and we're going a lot faster already. You can see that it's just slowly accelerating despite still being on that slope, so should hopefully be a good boost for that line. The question now being, how did that only up the rate by 1? I'm so confused. Maybe it just calculates it based on the average speed, and that needs to go up. So let's maybe fast forward here real quick. I want to have that thing go back and forth maybe once and see if anything changes. In the meanwhile, we're going to go on to the other lines and just come back. This here is critical, honestly speaking. Passengers. Passenger lines, we need to keep the conditions up high on. And you can see there's already 2 with very bad. Because, I mean, passenger lines go right into the middle of the city. So if that does not have a good current status, it's a big, big issue right there. So, looking at both of these, though, honestly, they're both really not making us huge tons of money. So, we're not going to go and make a huge invest on these. I think what we can do is we're going to slim down the capacity a bit. And what train carts do we even have on these? Okay, we would technically have faster ones as well. So maybe what we do is we only add 3 of these. And we get a train that can go the 120 kilometers an hour. Electric would be nice, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So we're going to go with a Flying Scotsman here. Which admittedly is more maintenance. But like that, you know, we've got it modernized, we've still got a decent capacity, and, you know, we should be fine. I hope, at least. Let's see. Then we do the same deal right here. So, manage. Get rid of the thing. Not 2 locomotives, don't need that. And then we're going to go and add a bit of capacity again. And that is going to be our new train right there. Now let's maybe quickly pause the game again. Actually, we can keep it going maybe. We're not even that good on money, so we may as well make some. But looking back at this, did anything change here? Oh, haha, okay. So this is actually an interesting revelation, because this was something that was troubling me all the time, was that when I add train carts, it instantly adjusts the capacity. But evidently, when you make the actual train go faster, the rate really only adjusts over time based on the average speed that the thing goes. So now we're at 565, and we can basically just go back and say, okay, I don't need as much. Ooh, fancy. Is that that's an actual train? Look at that, 125 kilometers an hour. Electric train. That is actually cool. We can actually use that for passenger transport now. So, kind of gutted that I actually just invested in the other trains. Especially since this one is not really particularly costing more money. And the emissions is lower. And the power and tractive effort is higher. I'm kind of annoyed at that one, not gonna lie. I just spent like 6 million per train right there. And now we've got a way better one. Kind of really annoyed. Not gonna lie. Maybe we get to use it on some other passenger lines in a second. But here now, on this train, we can go and just shave off some capacity. We're gonna go with 5 for the time being. And just see how the rate adjusts. That brings us down to 477. So we can get rid of a few more. And mind you, at the same time, the speed goes up here. So technically, you know, the rate in the end is probably even going to be higher because the average speed is going to rise again. That brings us to 424, which means we get rid of 1 more. That should have us slightly above 400, 406, and then we can be super happy with that. I am very, very happy with that change indeed. I think that was a necessary one, most definitely, after all that time and that poor train just chugging up that hill at like 15 kilometers an hour with 25 train carts behind it. That said, though, I mean, these are now kind of set, honestly. I mean, let's check out how much money it would cost to kind of just upgrade. Do we just get... We literally nearly get all the money back, to be honest. Let's make the change. Let's make the change, honestly. Oh, let's not make the change, because there's no electric train line right there. Really? Really? I mean, that's pretty electric to me. Oh, yeah, right. We haven't upgraded the train station yet. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Well, we're not going to change that today, I guess, because, I mean, that's just going to be a whole nother mess again. You'll remember just how much fun we had the last time around when I upgraded one of these train stations, so, yeah. We're going to lay that for the time being. That said, these are all very good. Some of our newer ones, I guess. And the planes are still quite good. This one's still decent enough. That is good. That is good. That is all fine. These are at least still usable, so we can live with that. All still decent enough. Then we've got this one, which is bad, so that's maybe also another candidate where I'm just kind of wondering if like some sort of upgrade would help. This is like Wood Sawmill Space City, so this is this one over here actually, that very, very long one. I mean, technically in terms of speed, nothing would really help. The question is, this is all electric paths. Electric train station right there. Electric train station right there, so technically we could upgrade to an electric one if we wanted to for the extra tractive effort. You can see that this one's going 47 kilometers an hour and he's like pretty freaking far away from the train station already. Looking at the rate, Wood Sawmill Space City 423 of the rate, so that's good. What kind of slope do we have here? There is a bit of one, I guess. It's not crazy. We've got 56 flat cars with side stakes on this thing, which is absolutely mad, mind you. Interesting part that it's not really full. I guess that's just because this thing is not fully... It's actually producing 400, which is interesting. So I'm not sure why the other one is not shipping off 400. But this one right here, like, the city is definitely not requesting the full amount yet, which makes sense. I mean, it's a big, big city, but it's not growing to the max yet. But the question is, with 56 carts on this thing... Hello? Ah, yeah, no. Right, manage vehicle, and then we need to edit. What kind of... It's fine-ish, kind of, honestly. The question is... Actually, the question really is... I mean, this does have a teeny tiny bit of advantage in terms of tractive effort, but really not enough. The only thing to go for would be this one, which, you know, would help insanely, but on the other hand side, also insanely push the maintenance costs. So as much as I would love to relieve that train from its, well, you know, troubles and pain, we're not going to do that just yet. Let's go through the others, though. Those all look quite good to me. And we can be quite happy with that. We've got Wood to Sawmills. Wait. Somehow we jumped up again. This was the one that we were actually at. So here's where we continue. Sorry for that. And this all does look good except for Wood Tools Colburn. Which I guess is these that actually run from all the way up here to all the way... No. Wood Tools Colburn. Or is it just raw wood that these are transporting? Oh, this is actually the ones that run all the way down. So, yeah. In terms of that, where are we at here in terms of a rate? Wood Tools Colburn 411. And these can go, well, I mean, it's the same deal. I would love to upgrade them, but the flat car with side stakes doesn't really go any faster. I don't believe tractive effort would really make that much of a difference because they also go back empty, honestly. So until we actually have some way of upgrading those to faster speed, I think we'll leave it at that. But otherwise, I think we are good to go then. The entire modernization, transformation of our fleet is once more done. And everything is nice and beautifully up to snuff. Took a little longer than I expected, to be honest, but I'm quite happy with how it went. And now we also have kind of relieve this poor little train right here, and instead we've got a fancy, beautiful blue beauty of a train going back and forth here with our oil instead. So quite happy with that. I guess we're only going to get to building the passenger line in the next episode then, between Space City and whatever the other city was called, the Aquarium and something else. And, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world, to be honest. At the end of the day, we at least get to finally use that fancy new red passenger locomotive that we just got, which, mind you, is also electric, so that's going to be very nice. Really looking forward to that. For today, though, I'm going to end this episode off right here. I hope you all very much enjoyed it. As usual, if you did, please make sure to hit that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm, and also make sure to smash that subscribe button as well as that bell icon if you're new around here and want to stay around up to date on any future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way then, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.